Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. It's Wednesday, which means we're doing Wacky and Weird Wednesday. It's not positive news, it's weird news. There's things happening that you're just like, huh? And that's all you can really say. Like, why is this happening? Why are humans doing this? Why are animals? Why is wood? Why is wood? This is Before Coffee, the father and daughter comprehensive news of Planet Earth podcast, where we look up our stories 10 to 15 minutes before we started. We've just got some caffeine. We're learning to read live on stream. Get that crust off your eyes, and let's get into today's stories. Headlines. My brain, I had a stroke in the middle of my sentence. I was like, huh? How do I speak?
You had a stroke.
Okay.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Having stroke on live on stream. Today on Wacky and Weird Wednesday, Indonesian Islamic court publicly canes two men charged with hugging and kissing. That's right.
Oh.
We live in a society.
And these Neanderthals were eaten, but no one knows where or by whom. Plus, we're going to talk about the Tomatina festival. Tomatina. It's in Spain where they throw tomatoes at each other.
I would have rather had that than the canes. In Argentina, they're probing an artwork that was allegedly looted by a Nazi fugitive. Where the hell did that come from?
Oof. And also in the United States, we have a electric scooter scam fleecing millions from Americans, and we have 14 people arrested for stealing from Home Depot, massively stealing from Home Depot.
Maybe they're using it to make the best wood ever. It has a heroic Roman quality. How Arkansas's Timber University is building could revolutionize architecture. In my culture news.
Right on. And it is National Peach Day. So that's really peachy. Best I can do. August 27th, 2025 on Before Coffee.
There we
no,
go.
not that. The wrinkle shirt day. It's
yeah,
wrinkle shirt
you were telling me,
day.
during the ad break that your shirt is all wrinkly.
Yeah, it's wrinkle shirt day.
It's probably rolled up in a freaking corner of the drawer. Still wet.
No, actually, bottom of the laundry hamper.
Oh,
It was clean,
okay.
but it didn't get pressed or nothing. Who am I ironing clothes for? Who am I trying to impress? The iron police?
You hear that here? Chat is not good enough to impress. Take with that what you will.
It's fine. I mean, oh, look at that. That shirt. It's so great.
That guy has a shirt on. You should be happy he has a shirt on.
All hail the shirt. Yeah.
Saving you from his, I don't know, pasty white skin, I suppose.
We're gonna start marketing wrinkly shirts. That's gonna be our merchandise. That's our merch. Wrinkly shirts.
This shirt is permanently wrinkled.
Don't
hey
even
JB,
dare.
good
Don't
morning.
Okay,
Let's
the shirt
roll our
and dry
segue wheel so
throwing
we
it
know
all in the
what the hell to
corner.
say in between these stories. Or I guess you need to know what to say.
Yes, I do. I never know what to say.
Alliterate
Clueless.
for me. I know you like those alliterations. Perfect one for you.
All right.
Bonka says his dad is a stickler for getting his clothes pressed. So I guess sometimes you're just into that kind of thing. That's what you'd like to do.
Yeah, I had to have my uniform pressed every single day for 4 years in the Marine Corps. That was
And then you
enough
got
for me.
over it after that. Hell no.
That was enough for me. That was enough. Pressing. I had iron in my hand and a rifle in the other. That's being a Marine. That really is.
Okay, my first story is a sad story, a disappointing story, and an angry story. So I apologize if it ruins your mood for the day. By Yayan Zamzami and Edna Tarragon on AP News. Coming out of Banda Aceh, Indonesia. Two men in Indonesia's conservative Aceh province were among a group of people publicly caned yesterday on the 26th of August after Islamic Sharia court convicted them of violating Islamic law by hugging and kissing, which the court ruled can lead to banned sexual relations. So they didn't, as far as we know, they did not have any gay sex. They just hugged and kissed. Two men hugged and kissed, and they got caned for that. An audience of about 100 people witnessed the caning on stage in Bustan Selatan City Park in Banda Aceh On Tuesday, the 26th, the men aged 20 and 21 were whipped across their backs with a rattan cane dozens of times by a group of people wearing robes and hoods. Yeah! Organized religion, everyone.
Sadomasochism. Everybody getting off.
Yeah, probably. Aka allows up to 100 lashes for morality offenses, including gay sex and sex between unmarried couple. Yet again, these people only hugged and kissed, as far as we know, unless somebody was in the bedroom, which is also weird. The religious Islamists in their cut corner being like, don't have gay sex, but if. Caning is also a punishment for Aka for gambling, drinking alcohol, women who wear tight clothes. Oh, great. Somebody get your feet. Oh, if it's too tight, I can't fit my finger in there. Cane her! And men who do not attend Friday prayers. Reminder that I'm anti-religion, not anti-Islam or Christianity, anything. I'm anti all of them. Okay, so please don't take me as an anti-Muslim person. I respect people who respect me. The court in Aka sentenced the men to 80 strikes, well, at least 20 less than they could have gotten. After each Islamic religious police said they caught them engaged in what the court deemed were the sexual acts. Oh no! No! The sexual acts of hugging and kissing? Guys, sorry, I can't hug you because it's a sexual act, and I can't kiss you either. That's a sexual act now. It's sexual assault.
They're being punished because it turned the guy on who saw it. That's why they're being punished.
I don't want to live anywhere near any of these people. The guy who saw it got turned.
That's your definition of pornography. The weirdos watching it got turned on.
I don't consent to hug. Well, fair enough, Yin. If you don't consent, I won't hug you.
You can't hug that guy because that makes me want to hug him, basically. Is what it
Why can't we all hug each other? They were doing it in a bathroom, which is suspicious to be hugging and kissing in a bathroom, but hey, that's where some people make out. The court record said 8 other people were publicly caned on the 26th for adultery and gambling. I can't believe hugging and kissing another man is at the same level as adultery, which a lot of people consider breaking of a contract, right? And gambling is a famous vice, right? You get addicted to it, and then, oh, all my money's gone. Men were arrested in April at Taman Sari City Park in Banda Aceh after presidents told a police patrol they saw the men enter the same park bathroom. 2 men going to a bathroom? Why would they do that? Police found the men inside kissing and hugging. Prior to meeting in the park, the pair made contact with an online dating app. So they went through their phones too. God, it must be awful. Somebody get these guys on like a refugee status or something and get them the hell out of Indonesia. There's things for that. There's actually like gay rights, human rights advocacy groups that will help pay for you to get refugee status in a place that will not cane you for hugging another man. Aceh is the only province in Indonesia to practice Sharia law. Oh, so they probably could just... By the way, Sharia law is just another word for religious law. So if you live in any place that says you can't do this because of our religion, you're under Sharia law. There have been 4 previous canings for cases related to homosexuality since the province implemented this Islamic law and established a religious police and court system in 2006. The change was a concession by the national government and a long-running separatist uprising. So the separatist uprising happened because men were hugging and kissing? I mean, deserved. They should have gotten it. They should have separated from the country. You guys won't let us hug and kiss. We're leaving. No, you can't do that. We're going to make it illegal. Indonesia, this is probably not what happened, but it is funny to think that's what happened, right? Like, we're leaving the country because we can't hug each other. No, we will let you.
Do it in
Indonesia's
public.
National Criminal Code does not regulate homosexuality, but the central government cannot strike down Sharia law in Aceh. However, the central government previously pressured officials to drop an earlier version of a law calling for people to be stoned to death for adultery. Well, at least they're following the Quran or the Bible. It definitely happens in the Old Testament, stoning people for adultery. What did Jesus say? Something about those without sin can throw the first stone or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure all those people who are wanted to stone people to death have never sinned in their life. Reminder that Jesus is considered a prophet in Muslim religion, so they still believe the things Jesus said and what Muhammad said.
We all love prophets.
They love people telling them, hey, God told me these secrets, and only me, and only I know these secrets. They expanded their Islamic bylaws and criminal code in 2015, extending Sharia law to non-Muslims. Great. Hey, if you want to live here, you have to practice our religion, who count for 1% of the province's population. 2 other men were publicly caned in February at the same park after a Sharia court convicted them of having sex. That's a bit different. I don't know how they convicted them of that, but I heard them moaning in the other room. Actually, they were just playing Call of Duty. A coalition of human rights groups filed a petition to Indonesia's Supreme Court in 2016, seeking a review of the regional regulations allowing caning, but the request was rejected. Indonesia's Ministry of Home Affairs has issued a letter in 2016 to the governor about caning, noting regional laws in Indonesia should be enforced for minor crimes. It shouldn't even be a crime to hug and kiss somebody, but I'm just the weird one here, I guess. Caning is a corporal punishment, and Indonesia has ratified a convention mandating the abolition of inhumane punishments, said Maidina Rahmawati, acting executive director for Institute for Criminal Justice for Indonesia. That's public caning. Even the act of caning itself is contrary to various laws and regulations, and also contrary to human rights interests in Indonesia, because its exposure is not good for Indonesia. You're 100% correct. I definitely won't be visiting Indonesia's or that region, since they cane people for hugging and kissing. Thank you, Rick, for stopping by, and good luck with work. Sorry, what did you say?
I said the fourth most populated country in the world is Indonesia, so they got a lot to straighten out.
Yeah, but that's only one province, right? So they need that province. It's like a state. I think it's like state law, right? It's like if Tennessee decided we're gonna start, flogging.
It's like Texas, where they give you the death penalty for reading a book. I get it, right? You own a book. Oh, you own a book. Death penalty. This is Texas, by golly.
You are not allowed to read here. Don't read them aloud.
Conjugating verbs. My God. Next thing you know, you're thinking.
Shifting political dynamics played a role in implementation of the policy, Rahmawati said. Because it seems like this was the right thing to do, it had to be done. It had to be narrated to support the Sharia-based government, said Rahmawati. Amnesty International issued a statement yesterday calling the caning of 2 men a disturbing act of state-sanctioned discrimination. This punishment is a horrifying reminder of the institutionalized stigma and abuse faced by LGBT+ individuals. Intimate relationships between consenting adults should never be criminalized, Amnesty's regional director, Monse Ferrer, said in the statement. I completely agree. Do you want to kiss me? Yeah. Do you want to hug me? Yeah. All right. No one else's fucking business. Saputra, a Banda Aceh resident who attended the caning, said the punishment may prevent other violations of Sharia law. I hope that with the implementation of this caning punishment, it can serve as a lesson for the offender and also create a deterrent effect so that such incidents do not happen again in the future, said the bigot. Okay. Men shouldn't hug each other or share their feelings. That's gay.
Affection. Whatever. You're swapping shit. My God. Don't you know where that man's tongue has been? That man's tongue has been inside of a bag of beef jerky or something. I don't know. What is wrong with people?
Weird and wacky news, guys. It's not supposed to be happy, but it is fucking wacky. Give me your alliteration so we can move on before I talk about this for 15 more minutes.
Luckily, it wasn't a French kiss. They could have got him for cultural appropriation, too. And here's your three alliteration headlines. The first one is convoluted controversy, creepy cult canes convicted kissers. The next one,
that's a good one. Wow.
No, that last one starts with a K. This one,
hey,
this
so
one,
all about
this
the
one,
sound, not the letters, technically.
This one starts as things starting with a P, a C, and an S, but they all make the S sound. So, pseudo-sexual ceremony shows samples of salacious sect. Salacious sect.
Good. Wow.
Dirty, creepy religion. Next one is pervy PDA. One more. We gotta pop some peas now. We can't get away with that. Pervy PDA police punish people preemptively.
You didn't have sex yet, but you could have sex. Let's beat you up now. Yeah.
That's right. The PDA police, public display of affection. We don't want that. You can do all you want behind closed doors, by golly, but don't give us your preview.
Well, that's the problem. We did it in a closed door. Just somebody walked in. It was a public bathroom, but still. Damn. Yeah, somebody got turned on by it. That's why it's against the law. If you're turning me on, dear, shame on you. What? I'm a very strong believer that straightness actually doesn't exist, and we're all a little gay. So. It's just the people that are really, really gay. And you'll do anything for them. That's what I say. Right. The people that don't acknowledge their female side or their feminine side are the ones that are the homophobes. They're like, oh my God, I have a feeling about something. I'm going to suppress it and hate everyone for it. Just get over yourself there, chummy. Chummy. Life is short. Our next segue, it reminds me of a song. Yeah, love is love. I think, human beings are human beings. I think Shakespeare said, life is short, stop being a douchebag. Something like that. It's one of his songs. Famous Shakespeare line. Now, we're going to go on to the ancient history. We're going to talk about what did you spin the wheel? I'm sure you did. Yes, I got. Reminds me of a song, so give me something to be reminded of. Okay. All right, we're going to sing about Neanderthals today. This is from futurasciences.com. It's talking about Neanderthals were eaten by something or somewhere, somehow. These Neanderthals were eaten. Yeah. This is from the Futura team, futurasciences.com. These Neanderthals were eaten, but no one knows where or by whom. A startling discovery in southwestern France has shed light on the uneasy coexistence between Neanderthals and Ice Age predators. Human teeth bearing unmistakable signs of digestion have been uncovered at the 65,000-year-old site, forcing archaeologists to rethink who hunted whom in prehistory. Excavations in Marillac-le-Franc between 1967 and 1989 initially classified several teeth as belonging. Let me get this glasses off. I have a smudge in there. I don't really need them anyway. The 67-89 initially classified several teeth as belonging to deer or cattle, but later research of France's CNRS revealed the truth. They were Neanderthal. Even more shocking, the teeth show clear marks of ingestion, some still embedded in jaw fragments. Interesting. Alan Mann, an anthropologist at Princeton, offered one possible scenario. Neanderthals may have left skulls or facial parts at the site, which cave hyenas then consumed. The location itself was likely a butchering ground where Neanderthals processed reindeer and other prey. That explains the setting, but not how humans themselves ended up in the menu. Well, hyenas, right? The leading suspects are cave hyenas, now extinct, but once among Europe's most formidable carnivores. Fossil evidence shows they resembled modern hyenas, but larger, with bone-crushing jaws, opportunistic scavenging habits, and adaptations to glacial climates. Why they disappeared remains unclear. Some theories blame human activities, others point to dramatic climate change. Their extinction unfolded along the gradual decline of Neanderthal groups, two victims of sweeping ecological shifts. Marillac-le-France is the only site pointing to such grim encounters. In Spain, Neanderthal bones pierced by the fangs of prehistoric big cats were reported in 2015. Together, these finds suggest a tangled relationship. 4. Direct competition for food, shared shelters like caves, occasional predation of humans by carnivores, which of course exists. Now, carnivores aren't going to go, oh, that's a human, it's special. I don't even understand why they don't think humans are eaten by carnivores. I eat. That's what they say. It's like, this restaurant's open. This is where we're eating today. This is it. We're sitting down. We're not waiting for the Michelin review. Anyway, and such dynamics add another layer of stress to Neanderthal survival, which was already threatened by the arrival of Homo sapiens, which is what we classify ourselves as. These predator-prey interactions may have been a hidden factor in their eventual disappearance. Adding to the mystery, some Neanderthal remains at Marillac-le-Franc bear cut marks of deliberate fractures where the signs of
Were these signs of funerary rituals or acts of cannibalism? Evidence from these sites shows Neanderthals did something, sometimes bury their dead, but this location lacks clear burial features. And maybe they just got attacked and destroyed, and the scavenger animals ate them. The unanswered questions highlight how fragile Neanderthal life really was. Far from being dominant hunters, they often lived in constant tension with other dangerous predators, and sometimes they became prey themselves. This discovery reframes the Middle Paleolithic as a world of ecological struggles where humans were just one species navigating a dangerous landscape for survival. I always thought that was the case. I don't know why that reframes it, but there's your story. I never ever thought that the prehistoric humans were the Flintstones, so it didn't really blow up any preconceived notion I have. There's your story. Let's have a segue before I talk about tomatoes.
This reminds me of a song, Eat Me by Ozzy Osbourne. Your insides won't even hurt. Eat me from skin down to bone. Eat me. You can evolve. Yeah. Eat me. There you go.
Right. If we can relate to the last story, maybe that's what was going on. Maybe that guy was starting to eat the other guy slowly.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. You won't survive if you don't eat me. You've got to do it. Okay, Tom, I'll eat you.
Be careful when you tell somebody, eat me. Because they might come back at you with a knife and fork. Nice. APnews.com has a story about the annual Tomatina festival as the United States is plowing their tomato fields under because nobody there pick them. Surprisingly, huge tomato farms are just plowing under their crops because nobody there to pick them. It costs more money to pay somebody real money to pick them than it does to actually, that they're ever going to recover because of the prices. But in Spain, they're just throwing tomatoes at each other. Yeah. What to know about this AP News? Luena Fiovaliera. What to know about Tomatina Tomato Festival in Spain? They have an excess of tomatoes. That's what you got to know. Thousands of people will paint the town red with tomato pulp Wednesday, which was today, flinging the fruit at one another in the 80th anniversary of Spain's famous Tomatina tomato street fight. The hour-long event brings 120 tons of overripe tomatoes to the eastern town of Buñol, where tarp-covered buildings flank a crowd of up to 22,000 participants awaiting their ammo. The non-local attendees pay €15 or $17.50 for a ticket and arrive from countries across the globe or cities a bus ride away. Yeah, Spain, you can go to the running of the bulls, and then when you're done with the running of the bulls, wait a couple of weeks, and it's time for the throwing of the tomatoes. When it's going on, it's just a blur of tomatoes, says Adrian Colombe of Ireland, who attended in '99. It was a blast. Here's what to know about the Tomatina Festival. The anniversary of a spontaneous food fight. It held on last Wednesday of August, today. The event was inspired by a food fight between local children who pelted each other's tomatoes in 1945. See how children's foolishness can lead to a great, wholesome tradition of people smashing each other in the face with tomatoes? After becoming a yearly tradition, Tomatina was briefly banned in the 1950s by let's all repeat together, Spanish dictator Francisco Franco, who is still dead. A decision locals protested. Television media attention in the 1980s turned the festival into a national event, eventually drawing an international crowd. In 2002, Spain officially recognized the festival as an international tourism attraction. Since then, the event has only been suspended twice, in 2020 and 2021 because of the pandemic. The tomatoes aren't edible. The tomatoes thrown aren't from... What do you mean they're not edible? I don't understand that part. The tomatoes thrown aren't from crops treated like those used for food. That's because they're grown exclusively for the festival, said Buñol Deputy Mayor Sergio Galarza. The Tomatina didn't exist. If Tomatina didn't exist, these tomatoes wouldn't be cultivated because there wouldn't be any need for it. Yeah, but I want some tomatoes if you're just going to throw them away. This year's supplies hails from Don Bonito, his brother. It's a town, Don Bonito, a town only 5 hours away. There's only one rule. There are no teams, no points, no referees. There's a guideline. To avoid injuries, participants Participants are encouraged to squash the tomatoes before hurling them. And of course, refrain from hurling anything else. And then many people don swimming goggles. Yeah, that's a good idea. You don't get smacked in the eye. And earplugs. Oh yeah, getting tomatoes out of your ears is going to suck. For protection, when Colombo, just wear a freaking helmet, right? Just wear a whole array, the whole thing, right? Protect the whole dome area. When Colum attended, he said, a friend has finished the battle with 2 black eyes, but I know he's kind of tall, so maybe he was a target. Yeah, being tall kind of sucks. People can see you from across the room. You finish exhausted, said Galarza, who grew up going to the festival before becoming its chief consular. Your arms are worn out. Everything is worn out from moving and launching it off. Maybe you should warm up first, like a pitcher going in a game. The mash of projectiles leaves attendees up to your ankles deep in this tomato puree, Colum said. Once the hour is up, marked by the sound of cannon shot, crowds shuffle to wash off in nearby communal showers while the town streets are hosed. Though the stains of clothes are likely irreversible, the citric acid in the tomatoes acts as an effective cleaning agent on the pavement. 3 or 4 hours later, the streets are sometimes left cleaner than before. Yes, citric acid kills everything. Similar tomato flinging festivals have been taking place in Florida, London, Amsterdam, and the Colombian town of Sata Marchan, and most recently, Hyderabad, India. Still, for Galarza, a native of the festival's original location, Tomatina is synonymous with buñol, he said. The truth is that it's exciting because year after year, you can see it, how Tomatina grows and evolves, said, and you can enjoy a festival that is super wholesome. So not just regular wholesome, but super wholesome. There's your story about flinging tomatoes at strangers. You just want to smack somebody in the head with tomato over and over again. Doesn't even matter who it is. You just want to watch it splatter against their skull. That's your that's your ticket. That's your ticket. As long as they're wearing eye protection.
Reminds me of another song.
Go for it.
Eat it! Get the tomato in your face and eat it! It's red and squishy and you're in Spain. It doesn't matter as long as it squashes it. Just eat it. Okay, anyway, this is my rendition of that song.
From Weird Al Yankovic. You did a parody of a parody.
Parody is my cover, my special parody cover of that.
I like the loud laugh. That one's good.
Yeah.
All right, parody of a parody. Eat It featuring the late great I'll think about it in a minute. Rick Derringer. There we go. Rick Derringer on guitar. Hypothetical. Okay.
And I'm going to talk about...
Hypothetical.
What am I going to talk about? I already forgot my second story here. Argentina found a Nazi painting that was allegedly looted by a Nazi fugitive. By Deborah Ray and Isabel Debre on AP News, coming out of Buenos Aires, Argentina. I'm from Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires.
I know Spanish, mostly. Argentine police raided a villa in a quiet seaside resort yesterday on the 26th of August as part of a hunt for a 7th century Italian portrait believed to have been looted 80 years ago from a Jewish collector by a fugitive Nazi officer who settled in Argentina after World War II. The probe reopens a shadowy chapter in the history of South American nation, which sheltered scores of Nazis who fled Europe to avoid prosecution for war crimes after World War II, including high-ranking party members and notorious architects of the Holocaust like Adolf Eichmann. He's the one who was doing all the fucked up surgeries on twins and weird human experiments, and lots of people died under his watch, and he got away with it because he died. They found him dead in a pool in Argentina 50 years later. Under the government of Argentine General Juan Perón, whose first tenure lasted from 46 until his overthrow in 55, fugitive German fascists brought plundered Jewish property with them from the other side of the world, including gold, bank deposits, painting, sculptures, and furnishings. The fate of those items continues to make news decades later, as the painful process of restitution drags along in Argentina and beyond. Dutch reporters I can't speak. Dutch reporters spotted the alleged looted masterpiece in a real estate ad, of all things. In this case, the lost painting the Argentine authorities are after is Portrait of a Lady, a painting by Italian Baroque artist Giuseppe Vittore Gislandi. Reporters for the Dutch newspaper Algemeen Dagblad first spotted what appeared to be the famous painting on Monday, the 25th of August, in a real estate ad for a home believed to be owned by descendants of a Nazi fugitive, Frederick Kadagin, who was searching for stolen artwork from the Netherlands. So they're saying it was stolen from a Dutch Jew during World War II and then taken all the way to Argentina. Citing Dutch art experts, the Rotterdam-based paper reported that the original Portrait of a Lady appeared to be hanging above a green velvet sofa in the living room of a rustic brick chalet for sale in Argentina's coastal town of Mar del Plata. The real estate agency Robles Casas and Campos did not respond to a request for comment. Hey, we didn't know anything about the Nazi painting, okay? Well, it's not a Nazi painting. A stolen Nazi painting. The housing listing was still live late on the 26th of August, but the image of the portrait first seen in a 3D tour of the home's interior appears to have been removed. Following day, Argentine authorities raided the house. Federal prosecutor Carlos Martinez told the AP that the painting was not found in the house. Cover up! Not the Nazi painting cover up, but officers seized other items that could be useful for the investigation, such as weapons.
Ooh.
Some engravings, prints, and period reproductions. He said investigators are examining possible charges of concealment and smuggling. You own a stolen painting, you have to give it back to the people who stole it. Sorry, that's how the law works. I'm sorry. You didn't know it was stolen, not our problem. It's a stolen painting. You know. Ask your bank for a refund. I don't know what to tell you. The official Dutch database of missing World War II art, maintained by the Netherlands Cultural Heritage Agency, identifies the oil-on-canvas Portrait of a Lady as belonging to Dutch Jewish art dealer Jacques Koudsteker before the Nazi takeover of his prominent Amsterdam gallery as Germany invaded the Netherlands in May of 1940. Through outright looting or coercive sales, agents acting on behalf of the Nazis made off with countless artworks from private Dutch Jewish dealers. Koudsteker's inventory was sold illegally to Hermann Göring, known as Adolf Hitler's right-hand man. So, he might have been out there in Argentina. Koudsteker's sole surviving heir, Mare von Sahir, has long pursued restitution for her father-in-law's stolen works. So it's not even her. It's her sole... His sole surviving heir, her father-in-law's stolen work. So they're not blood related. I guess she just signed off as the heir to the whole thing, the whole deal. Or like she was the last living relative of any of these people, sadly. In a landmark 2006 case, the Dutch government agreed to return 202 looted paintings from Koudsteker's collection to von Sahir after a protracted legal battle. This shit was stolen, sold off to Nazis illegally through coercion, especially probably after he got sent to the camp and there was nobody there to make sure nobody stole his paintings. Von Sahir did not immediately respond to a request for comment through her lawyers. The Dutch archive lists Portrait of a Lady as having passed into the hands of a man named Kadagin from Berlin. A search for German Federal Archives records the existence of only one Nazi party member with the surname Friedrich Gustav Kadagin, membership number 1354543. Wow, we have all the details of this man, who oversaw foreign currency, precious metals, and the sale of confiscated property as a financial aid to Göring. Aha! Confiscated for being Jewish. We're gonna make some money off of this and send it to Argentina. Following the German defeat, Kadagin fled to Switzerland, then Argentina. According to a declassified report from the Central Intelligence Agency, members of the Kadagin family and their businesses dealings show up repeatedly in Argentine judicial and property registries beginning in the 1950s. Cadogan was never charged with crimes related to Nazi regime during decades of Argentina. He died in 1978 in Buenos Aires at the local court. But I guess he kept the stolen painting hidden. Nobody knew about it.
Those clever Nazis.
Hopefully we can get some justice here for Howard Sticker's stolen painting. He's already gotten 202 back to at least one of his heirs. Heir of his restitution. And it's just a weird place to find a stolen painting, you know? I was just looking at the ad, and I'm pretty sure Nazis stole that painting.
Nazis, yeah. What hypothetical I've got, have you ever seen the movie Boys from Brazil or read the book Boys from Brazil? No, I don't. Well, it's about Joseph Mengele is the person they finally
famous
find.
Nazi.
Yeah. And the person who's the fictional character in the show is Eli Wiesel, who is a Nazi hunter, right?
Yeah.
He escaped from the death camps and became a Nazi hunter the rest of his life. That's what he did. He hired a bunch of other people to help him hunt Nazis. And gee, it would have been nice if somebody would have taken him seriously about the Nazis escaping South America for like 40 years. It would have been whatever.
Yeah.
20 some years it took them to finally listen to him saying, hey, all those Nazis are in South America. The U.S. government's like, yeah, the war's over. At least they're not communists, that kind of shit. So anyway, there's my hypothetical. It would have been nice to catch these Nazis when they escaped. Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he never even got arrested, this guy, right? He was never charged with any crimes. Yeah. And that's kind of what we learned in my bachelor's degree about the Nuremberg trials. It was just a pony show. Hey, look, we're doing something about the Nazis who committed genocide. Here's some low-level workers who might have known there was a camp somewhere.
And they were still finding people in the United States
working at the camp. She's not the one who did the illegal shit. It was these people.
Yeah, over 6 years later,
and they got away. They went to Argentina and they never got captured.
Well, not just Argentina. They went to the United States. They changed their name. Oh, I changed my name when I. That Nazi guard, I'm this harmless guy, and again, they don't catch them until they're 100 years old,
and they're already dead. Like, wait a minute, this guy was a Nazi. You can't
punish that old man. You can't deport that old man. I'm like, who gives a fuck? He's a Nazi. Old has nothing to do with it. Did all those people that he killed come back and say, yeah, it's okay. It's all right now. We're going to be dead by now anyway, so it's okay. No. I mean, seriously, we execute people in Texas and we just think they killed somebody, right? Don't even have to have evidence, but I'm sorry at the long hypothetical.
Pick 2 shots because that's the second Texas hate crime you've done today.
Right. Yeah, the real hate crime against the Jews was done by the United States government when they just ignored them.
Oh, yeah.
Now they're trying to make up for
to come here. We don't want you refugees escaping genocide.
Oh, yeah, we ignored the refugees, so all our guilt is coming back to haunt us, years and years later. We have to do whatever Israel says, no matter what. Because of that. Anyway, we're in that mess because of our own ignorance. Sorry. I did send you a video.
Thank you.
And we're doing the story. Okay.
Is alliteration headline. Do you want to re-roll?
You're the one doing it, so it doesn't matter to me.
You're right. You just did yours.
You haven't done an alliteration headline. We have 2 stories.
Okay, then let's take me to the stories.
Just criminals being assholes story, which they are criminals. That's why they are called criminals. 14 arrested in the largest Home Depot theft ring ever, officials said. This is abcnews.go.com because they got to have a special dot in their address. .go. That means something. I guess it means you go. And the story is written by Doc Llewellyn. Authorities in Southern California announced Tuesday the arrest of 14 people accused of running what they called the largest organized retail theft operation in Home Depot, targeting Home Depot in the company's history, with 9 facing felony charges. Only 9? I think stealing's kind of a big deal. It should be all felonies, I suspect. Maybe the other 5 people cut deals, right?
Yeah,
the suspects are allegedly linked to 600 thefts at 71 different Home Depots. Man, there are 71 Home Depots in Southern California. That's got to tell you about the size of that company. with losses exceeding 10 million across multiple Southern California counties. Don't worry, Home Depot just raised prices to make up for it. They're not losing anything. And then they're going to declare it as a loss on their taxes, so they get a deduction for it. So if you're crying for Home Depot, don't. They'll get their money. They basically had been able to pull off over 600 different thefts from Home Depot in the surrounding counties. Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hoochman said they must have thought life was grand. They've been making millions of dollars. Didn't look like anyone's going to stop them. They were, cushy little thing. We have no expenses. We just get steal stuff from Home Depot. Yeah, you could just pull up a Home Depot and start loading up your truck. Did you know that? Just pull up the Home Depot, start loading up your truck, pull off. Nobody will bother you. Yeah, people figured this out a long time ago. They think you know what you're doing. If you don't, you don't look up. They just think you're just picking up something you just paid for. And they just drive off. Crazy, right? Police say David All, who has ran a storefront called ARIA Wholesale in Tarzana, was at the center of the operation. All faces 48 felony counts, including conspiracy, organized retail theft, grand theft, receiving stolen property, and money laundering, authorities said. Enjoy prison. You're going to be there a while. He remains in custody in Ventura County Jail with bail set at $500,000, which you probably don't have. And I probably don't. I'm just saying,
if you're
these guys
stealing from Home Depot, you're probably not rolling around in cash. So there are people out there who will do stuff just to get away because they can get away with it, right?
But when you launder money, it's not that easily retrievable. So unless he's got it in a bag somewhere, which is possible, you probably don't have it because you've been laundering it. You've been trying to be a legitimate business. He remains in custody. We have $500,000 bail, faces 32 years in prison if convicted. Attorney information for Al was not immediately available. AHL's Al, that's how he spelled his name. Ventura County Sheriff Jim Fryoff. Hey, let's have a fry-off. Jim Fryoff said Al's boosters would systematically steal expensive electrical components like breakers, dimmers, switches, and sometimes hitting every Home Depot in Ventura County in a single day. The stolen goods were then allegedly delivered to Al's business or home in trash bags or Home Depot boxes. The boosters are the people that stole it, remain in custody in Ventura County Jail with bail set at $250,000. There's pictures and pallets and pallets of stuff from Home Depot unopened in this pictures, like just wrapped in plastic wrap. Crazy. The investigation also looked at the arrest of Al's brother-in-law, who allegedly sold stolen merchandise through eBay. Al's ex-wife and her boyfriend were accused of running a nearly identical fencing operation, so you got to store this stuff somewhere. During the searches, investigators seized an estimated $3 million in Home Depot property, $800,000 in what described as dirty money from alleged money laundering operations. Well, there goes his bail money. Surveillance footage shown by officials captured suspects in action, including one who allegedly climbed around security measures when Home Depot placed high-level items behind cages on other shelves. It doesn't matter. I'm still getting your crap. And you're not going to stop me because you don't pay your workers enough to give a shit. This wasn't shoplifting. It was a criminal enterprise that allegedly stole millions of dollars and was finally stopped in Ventura County. Eric Nasarenko, the county's district attorney, said in a press conference Tuesday. Home Depot Regional Asset Protection Manager Darlene Hermosillo emphasized that organized retail crime affects more than just profits. It's about protecting the well-being and safety of our customers, our associates, and the communities in which we serve. Actually, no, it's about you and your own security. Right? Your security sucks. It has nothing to do with the communities. Home Depot needs to have better security and pay your employees more so they give a shit when somebody's stealing. Because, hey, somebody's stealing. Well, I'll go back to my job. I'm not tackling that guy for nothing.
No, of course
not. The investigation was funded through a state grant program targeting organized retail theft. All defendants remain in custody and pleaded not guilty. And if you're working at Home Depot, you will definitely take a $50 bill to look the other way. Guaranteed. Because they're only paying you. Well, California's got at least minimum wage that's livable, sorta. I think they're around $16 an hour. But some states, if you're working at Home Depot, they're paying you $7 an hour. Are you gonna sit there and go, "Oh, they're stealing from this huge company that won't pay me right"? I think I'll look the other way.
They're
that guy
insured.
might have a knife.
Technically, they're insured, so yeah.
They're technically insured and they recover all this stuff, and it's not going to spoil. There's no spoilage with most building materials. You can resell them after you recover them from the police investigation. So they're going to get all their property back that wasn't sold or used in a house somewhere. Insurance is going to pay the thievery. It's a tax deduction. It's a line item on your list that says thievery or whatever. There's a line that says thievery this month. We've allowed for $8 million of thievery this month. There you go. That's a line item. We're going to claim it on our taxes. So don't worry about them. They'll be fine. I know you weren't. Where's your segue? I got another story.
My alliteration is...
Yes.
Home Depot heist headlines highlight hysterical hedonism. Because it's quite hedonist to just be like, this is all ours. This is for us and only us.
Oh, that's another H, Homer. So I had to do all the Homer.
There you go. Homer is
no, do it correct.
conquering
Homer.
hastily, hysterically at Home Depot. Okay, your next story.
As I choke it up. All right, next story is about more nefarious scumbags. This is from NBCnews.com. How an electric scooter sharing scam fleeced millions of dollars from Americans. And when we talk about Americans, old Americans, usually fixed incomes and can't afford this shit. Eric Ortiz, Bracy Harris, and Kevin Collier have the story from NBC News. LSSC's website and news releases, as well as Android and iPhone apps, all have references and connections to China. Okay, that starts the story out really. I guess LSCSC is a website, as well as Android and phone apps that have a rest of connection to China. Sean O'Brien, the founder of Yale Privacy Lab, which researches digital threads. Okay, they start the story right in the middle. Okay, so why are we not starting the story at the beginning of the story where we introduce the people? Okay, this is not cool. I don't like when people don't even know how to write a story. Okay, this is a company called LS. Let's see what their website says, since I don't really know what that means. This company is called LSSC, and as well as this Android. I love a story that isn't even written for people to read it. It just assumes you know who everybody is. Okay, so 3 people wrote this story and they didn't write it correctly, so I got to figure out how to read it. They wrote it so people can read it who already know what LSSC is. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to look up the name of this company, because this story was not. Go to their website, LSSC, whatever it stands for. I don't know, but it's the name of this company, so we're just going to go with that. For whatever reason, NBC News has fired all reporters that know how to report news, and they write things like this. LSSC website and news releases, as well as its Android and iPhone apps, have all references connections to China. Again, I still don't know what LSSC is, and I apologize for this poorly written story. Sean O'Brien, the founder of Yale Privacy Lab, which researches digital threats, examined the code of LSSC's Android app and found it's filled with Chinese digital certifications or reference to Chinese tech services like QQ, TOBO, Alibaba. Apple requires all apps at its app store to include custom privacy policies, which for LSSC appears to have been an afterthought. The title is Chinese letters, Chinese for untitled document. Also, they don't even have a frickin' customer privacy policies. Nothing there. Apple didn't respond to a question comment, but LSSC app was removed from the store after NBC News asked about it. Android apps can be downloaded directly without going through Google's Play Store. Okay, once again, no information about any of this. Nothing about it. Not a thing about it. Not any information about any of it. It's a chat app. Okay. I'm going to try to find this story from some other reporters, because these people are not explaining themselves. Sorry, I don't know if you got play music or something while I look this up, because what's
wrong?
Whoever wrote this story, The story was written by people that don't think you need to know the actual information about the story. It just goes into the story. So I got to find another. If anybody else wrote about this story, I'm going to find their article. Because there's NBC fucked it up. They just did not put a good story out there for me to read. I'm sorry, I don't even know what they're talking about. Okay. The scooter app.
Yes.
All right. Better Business Bureau has a story about it, but these guys are not telling me, and NBC News are not telling me what the hell it's about. They're just getting right into the meat of the story as if I already know all this information, right? Okay, let's see what happened. Let's try it again. This is another NBC story. Hopefully they actually write a story about it.
Specifically? That's the one we're talking about? Yeah, I see it here. There's one...
I'm waiting for it to open.
There's a story on eco-political...
Nope. Okay. Here's what happened.
Okay.
When I clicked on the reading pane, it cut off the first part of it. All right? So I'm going to read the first part of it. The pitch was simple. How do you like to make some extra money with just a few taps on your phone? All right. Okay. This is how you start a story, not in the freaking middle. you click on the reading pane and it cuts off the first half of the story. It's like, oh, okay. I didn't want to read the rest of it. Oh, sorry. All kinds of trouble here. The pitch was simple. How would you like... Okay, thank you. That's why. This is why we clicked the reading pane. The pitch was simple. How would you like to make some money, extra money with just a few taps on your phone? Start by investing a small amount, say a couple of $1,000s, in a high-tech scooter sharing company based in Hong Kong. Watch from your phone as electric scooters get rented and your money doubles, then triples. Recruit your friends and family and earn more. Win a cruise or a Tesla. Don't miss this opportunity, urged the marketing video for Lightning Shared Scooter Company. Skeptical? Small talk. Mayors endorsed the company known as LSSC. Now we finally know. Don't know why this part got cut off from the article, but here we go. So did police officers and a lieutenant colonel in the army. Who are these people? Former White House press secretary Sean Spicer appeared to give it a shout out on Cameo. Boy, if that guy endorsed, definitely buy it. That guy's an idiot. Where people ask public figures to record online messages. A photo of French soccer star Kylian Mbappe was used to promote it. Well, a soccer star uses it's an app. An app to get old people. So you're not really ripping off old people. They're ripping off investors who think old people are actually renting these things when they're not. And if that wasn't good enough, LSSC storefronts and offices popped up in at least 8 cities across the United States filled with sleek black scooters, which really worked. At the requisite state paperwork proved all of it was real. I don't need my glasses. Patricia Livingstone, a group home manager from Philadelphia, poured in close to $11,000 of her savings, thinking the earnings could help support her mother's retirement in Liberia. Aisha Kamara, a nursing assistant from Minnesota, invested $18,000 for a chance at financial security for her family. Oh boy. Oliver Mason, a security professional in New Jersey, put $65,000 down after his sister convinced him and his brother it was genuine. Oh, thanks, sister.
Thanks for being there.
I got to work all my rest of my life now for nothing. They logged on the LSSC app at night because they believed the people renting the scooters were in Hong Kong. They hit a button to run their scooters, then watched as payments for the 4 rentals ticked up in their accounts. Until last month, when Livingstone, Kamara, Mason, and potentially hundreds, if not thousands of other users discovered they were unable to accumulate income. Devastating realization sunk in. It was a scam. Yeah, if it's too good to be true, guess what? It is. That's right. If it seems like it's too good to be true, you're on to something. All right. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
exactly.
You gotta be worried.
Go with your first instinct. If you're pausing, you pause for a good reason. There were police officers promoting this. Oh yeah, police officers. I know they're police officers because they said they were. People in the military. What the hell does that people in the military have to do for an endorsement? If you're buying something because somebody in the military endorsed it, your brain isn't wired right. I'm like, people join, at least the United States, people join the military because I can't get a job. That's the United States. I don't know what the hell else you got in the rest of the world, unless you get a draft.
Actually, it's the opposite. Like, a lot of people in the military are not smart because they don't want you to know things. Right. They just want you to follow orders, okay?
Let's see. The guy that runs into a machine gun nest because he was ordered to is endorsing it. He seems smart. No. Military does not equal smart. If anybody thinks that, boy, I got some news for you. Anyway, I am seeing videos from all important people. I believed Mason, 41, and his 2-year-old son. Well, hopefully your 2-year-old son gets out of debt someday, huh? And his 2-year-old son played at his feet in their Newark home. Yeah, teach your son this lesson. Stop trying to get rich. Only rich people are getting rich, not you. Just letting you know, you're feeding some rich guy's family and you're not helping yours. In fact, you're hurting yours. I feel upset, he said. I feel duped. You should. You should. Feel shame. Be ashamed. Do people feel shame anymore? Don't say it's not my fault. It is your fault. You're a sucker. Stop being greedy. Greed is killing us. The mass deception has exploded. Hopes of financial stability in immigrant and lower income communities that invested heavily in the scam. Hopefully you're young enough to recover. In which some say they dug into their savings and their children's college funds.
Oh, damn.
Oh boy, you're a moron. Oh boy, I got a college fund and we throw it away on bullshit. The scheme was built on trust. Of course, all scams are. People enlisted family members, friends, fellow churchgoers, co-workers to sign up and invest. Now the victims are using social media to warn others. Co-workers must really love you. The scam has caught the attention of law enforcement, about time, in at least 6 states, with Kyle Hoffman, police officer in Arlington County, Virginia, estimating the amount of money lost to fraud nationwide is easily in the millions. Hoffman said he's working on the investigation with the FBI's Richmond field office. The FBI that isn't busy trying to redact Trump's name from all the Epstein files, that part of the FBI. The FBI declined to comment. In Salinas, California, police say the number of victims has reached more than 5 dozen and a combined loss of $370,000. NBC News interviewed a dozen people across the United States who say that combined, they injected more than $190,000 in LSSC with little or nothing to show for it. I don't think you even got little. I think you got nothing. You just got scammed, moron. Stop giving them your money. Here's the thing. When you get scammed, just say, I got scammed, and go, I'm an idiot. I learned from this, and stop blaming the world. And don't conceal it. Don't conceal it. Don't go, I'm not going to let anybody know I'm stupid while they're scamming me. Dude. It's the sunk cost equation does not work. The sunk cost is when you start a business, there's so many sunk costs you're never going to recover. You have to just, That's it. We're not recovering those, right? Your sunk cost is already gone. Don't continue to chase that dollar that ain't there. Investment scams cheated U.S. consumers out of $5.7 billion last year, according to the Federal Trade Commission. And how many of those are Trump? Which said crooks and sophisticated online measures to make it extremely difficult to catch them and get victims' money back. The FTC said it doesn't comment on specific companies and potential investigation. The Better Business Bureau, which labeled LSSC a pyramid scheme last week, said it had received a complaint for 20 states. There's your fun little people getting ripped off trying to get rich because they don't want to work for a living. And again, we say if it's good to be true.
Yeah.
You know, read that small print, and if there is no small print, run for the hill. Yeah, some of these guys get their user agreements that you fine tooth comb. These guys don't even have a user agreement. It's like document not found. It's like, okay, document not found. I'm screwed. Yeah, there's your first clue. No user agreement. Wow, people are dumb. I would feel sorry for them. But naked greed is what you got there. That's the disease you have. You have naked greed. You don't want to work. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to help society. You just want to take from society. It got the best of you because you see, oh, look at that rich guy having fun over there. I wish I was him. You're not him. You kind of got to be born into that now. You can't work your way up to it. You just don't exist anymore. You can't invest your way up to it. You can't work your way up to it. You got to either win the lottery, become a celebrity, or steal it. Yeah. There's your choices. Those are your choices.
You think the billionaires got all that money for free? No, they stole it all.
Yeah, the good news is you can scam people with impunity because the FBI doesn't exist anymore. They're too busy trying to arrest mayors.
Nobody gonna get you. Yeah, I guess you can also join the scams, basically, at this point.
Yeah, scam people. Nobody's going to catch you. Who's going to catch you? The FBI? That's funny. Kash Patel runs the FBI. That's like having the dog in charge of the chickens. I'm sorry.
Okay, my next alliteration is sneaky scooter sellers siphon savings, sinister scheme.
Oh, yeah. Gave you lots of time while I look for an actual story. You know what happened with that story? When I clicked the reading pane, fully one half of the story got cut off. Right? As I was scrolling down, I finally got to where to start.
I completely understood that.
That was a 15-minute story. That was a 15-minute story. I had to cut it off because when I clicked the reading pane, it said 5 minutes. But yeah, it was 5 minutes. If you cut off half the story, and it tells you who the hell they're talking about. The whole half of the story was gone. It's like, what the hell? We're in the middle of the story. Who wrote this? Damn it. Okay, sorry. Spin the wheel for my foolishness.
It's our culture segment here. And it's...
Okay. Culture segment. That took me 23 minutes.
Metaphor or simile.
Ooh, metaphors.
My culture segment is going to be about wood. Did you know that there's a timber university in Arkansas and they're making the wood the best wood ever for architecture? This is from Oliver Wainwright on The Guardian. Fringed by a fragmented strip of big box stores, auto repair shops, and brick buildings marooned in oceans of asphalt, the state highway of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in Fayetteville, Arkansas, is not a place of architectural beauty. And yet, as unlikely as it may seem, this rumbling stretch of road on the edge of this small city is now home to one of the most significant buildings for the future of architecture in North America. Maybe even the world. Even at speed, it's hard to miss. Standing opposite a 200-space Walmart parking lot, classic American architecture right there, the Anthony Timberlands Center for Design and Materials Innovation looks like a group of great big barns cut up in a highway pile. It begins as a low wooden shed at the back before suddenly buckling up into jagged folds, its roofline jerking to staccato slopes until it greets the highway with a 6-story shop window. If you get off on architecture, this is the building for you. Peer through this glass billboard and you'll catch a glimpse of dancing robotic arms, whirling drills and big wooden building components gliding to and fro on a gantry crane, conjuring the future of low-carbon timber construction. That's right. The angular wooden hangar provides a huge new workshop, studio space, and auditorium for the University of Arkansas's Fay Jones School of Architecture, which has become known for its hands-on approach to making over the last decade under the deanship of Peter McKeith. Having spent 10 years working in Finland, that's a great place to learn about wood. They have a lot of trees. Followed by a stint at Washington University, another place with a lot of trees, in St. Louis, McKeith has been busy studying to inject more Nordic, Sylvan attitude into an American building culture that is often stuck in its ways. They're getting some elves in here. We're going to elve this place up. What does it mean to be a school of architecture in a state that is 60% forest? Asks McKeith. He is standing inside his answer. The school's new 1,100 square meter fabrication workshop, where the intersecting rows of chunky wooden joists, beams and posts, and rafters soar above our heads, rising every higher with the look of a Pyrenean treehouse. This is the fourth mass timber building that the university has completed since McKeith arrived in 2014. It follows an impressive library annex, student dormitory complex, and research institute, where they find out all about wood. but it is by far the most ambitious project, pushing the limits of what the industry can do. It was brave new territory for Grafton, which made its name channeling the mighty mineral heft of concrete and stone, but had yet to explore the possibility of trees. Okay, so Grafton is a company that makes concrete and stone, and now they push the limit of their own architecture understanding for this complex, which is just, I can't even explain what it looks like. Maybe I should get the picture up or something. It's, it's architecture. I'll copy the image and then maybe share it. What does it mean to be a school of architecture in a... Oh, sorry, I read that already. In some ways, the inexperience shows. Grafton's competition model, displayed in a vitrine in the entrance, is an entirely different creature than what they ended up building. It has a smaller diving profile, but the skeletal structure is made from slender lengths of timber, more redolent of the light frame Ozark barns and their classical gambrel roofs. Inspiration also came from the delicate crisscross wooden structure of nearby Throne Crown Chapel, designed in 1980 by E. Jones, a disciple of Frank Lloyd Wright, after whom the school is named. Drawing these influences together, the Grafton's competition image depicts a fine matrix of impossibly thin columns and beams, as if the whole thing were held up by a spider web of sticks. It betrays a certain naive, if daring, faith in the potential of planks, but their audacity is clinched. There are a lot of screws in this wood to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. They built reality like the model after a steroid-fueled weight training routine. The structural members have been reduced in number by vastly beefed up. While the number of tilted roof panels was also cut on cost grounds, but the sheer heft makes the space no less impressive. Rather than feeling like a scaled-up barn, it now has a heroic, almost Roman quality. While early classical architecture was based on timber carpentry techniques translated into stone, this feels like the logic of concrete constructions transmutated back into glued-together tree trunks. Meter-wide columns of glulam, glued laminated timber, plunge from the 6-story high ceiling, intersected with equally fat beams, scaled to carry the weight of 5-ton gantry crane, allowing full-size building prototypes to be hauled back and forth. A gigantic queen post truss hangs from the ceiling, partly steel, but ironically clad in timber for fireproofing, supporting the weight of 2 studio levels and the auditorium, allowing the wide working area below to be column-free. That's pretty cool. So basically the idea is you have a roof. And if a roof is heavy enough, especially with timber, which wood can be pretty heavy if you want the good stuff, usually you would have to put supporting columns, right, to make sure that wood doesn't bend and break over the weight of its own self and also whatever happens outside. But instead, they've created trusses, which is like, I'm not an architect, but
a truss.
You build a straight bar just right under the of curvature of the roof, and then you put some bars supporting there, and then that, in a way, through physics, make sure that your roof doesn't collapse. Yeah.
Arches do that.
Yeah,
arches do that. The invention of the arched doorway got rid of a lot of the columns because the arch supports itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like Grafton's Kingstown town in London, the unlikely marriage of library and dance studios, the visual connection between the studio and the workshop was key. As Keith put it, we wanted a building where things and making were inseparable. Triple glazing helps muffle the whirring robots. The school's philosophy is already evident in the furniture. When the construction cost doubled from $21 million to $43 million, or 32 million pounds, due to COVID-induced inflation and the simultaneous construction of a vast mass timber Walmart headquarters, convenient, which absorbed all the labor in the region. So the Walmart across the road basically sucked up all the... Fuck you, Walmart! This beautiful architectural design for your shitty Walmart. Boo! Anyways.
That's headquarters of Walmart. It's in Bentonville, Arkansas. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Not the actual store. Yeah, there's Walmarts everywhere.
Which absorbed all the labor in the region, the school turned it to their advantage. A project was launched whereby the studio desks would be designed prototyped and fabricated by students. Resulting design of interlocked plywood and OSB is more thoughtful and beautifully crafted than any off-the-shelf equivalent. Similar care can be found in the bronze front door, handled by Finnish guru Juhani Palasma, Keith's former mentor, who also advised on the project and built a bronze door. Pretty cool. There is hope that this bold building will begin to change the situation in the U.S. with Trump's tariffs. Keith is evangelical about the benefits of wood on environmental, psychological, and economic grounds. And he is determined to shift the statewide conversation by hosting conferences, workshops, and symposia, and talking to the governor and state legislators. We're in the middle of the country's fiber basket, he says, and we have all the rivers and road transport, the materials. The state is currently growing 2 trees for every one it can harvest, which increases the chance of wildfires, infestation, and deadwood falls, and creates over 15 million tons of excess biomass a year. We could be using that for CLT and Oolong. Let's cut down the trees, not too many trees.
Right.
A logical amount of trees. The school's urban design build studio, run by John Folan, has been leading the charge. Hands-on project with students have ranged from a forest education center to prototype housing for low-wage workers using a new technology known as wave-layered timber. It's a design-to-income strategy, factoring in the cost of land and materials for someone earning $16 an hour. You start with a nucleus, which can be expanded from there. That's right, usually the most expensive thing about the house is the land it's on, not really the house. More recently, students have been working with waste sawdust for 3D printing, combining it with clay and soil. Ooh! That's cool. So they create some sort of strong clay soil mix that they can use for who knows all sorts of things. This new workshop will allow us to take traditional technologies, combine them with advanced manufacturing. Its form as a central bay with 2 saddlebags either side makes it perfect for building things at scale, then taking them straight onto a truck through the big garage door. Back in Dublin, Grafton is fired up about forest. Its architects are now working on timber apartment buildings in Nantes, France, another partly wooden educational building in Germany, and a writer's center in South Korea, with a local master joiner. We're not saying everything has to be all timber, says co-founder Shelley McNamara. Hybrid structures are often the answer, but here from our island in the Atlantic, we tried to make something that is expressive as the university's culture. We hope the building will be a good teacher. So hopefully a lot of people, if you're interested in architecture, and especially wood architecture, I guess, go apply to Arkansas's, what was it again? Arkansas's architectural, Martin Luther Architectural Beauty, what is it called? Anthony Timberland Center for Design and Materials Innovation. There you go. Anthony Timberland Center for Design and Materials Innovation, where you can learn all about wood and see this amazing building. Let me try to show you this amazing building. I just put this in here.
Yeah, Arkansas definitely needs more smart people, that's for sure. So if you're smart, go to Arkansas. They need you. They don't have a lot of
smaller. Okay, so this is what the building looks like. It's down there on the bottom of the screen. It's mostly covered in glass, but the inside has a lot of pillars and, like I said, like a spider web. A spider web of pillars, wood pillars, just the most woodiest wood building you've ever seen. Where they're reinventing wood for modern day. Give me your simile.
Oh.
Or metaphor.
I thought it was a mixed metaphor. Anyway, it's a metaphor.
It doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want. I don't care. You're the one who made the segue, Will. So.
Okay. Sometimes in their efforts to build a better mousetrap, architects cannot see the forest for the tree.
Hey!
Actually, it's engineers trying to build a better mousetrap.
Man, we need to cut some of these trees. I can't see how to build a new building from here. It's too clouded.
Yeah. Well, it's a metaphor. It's not actual forest and trees.
I know.
You don't see what's right in front of you. You're looking at the big picture. You don't see the forest. You're looking at the minute details of all the front of you. Either way.
I'm going to tell you a joke for this day in history.
Totally ruined the metaphor. This day in history. Going all the way back to...
You ruined it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. 1776. I want to go back about 250 years. During the American Revolution, British forces under General William Howe defeated George Washington and the American Continental Army at the Battle of Long Island. Island.
Man, come on, George. What are you doing out there?
Hey, it was Long Island, man. The British was easy to land. Landed every, it's a freaking peninsula, basically. That's a Long Island. 1859, Edwin Laurentine Drake struck oil while drilling in Titusville, Pennsylvania, becoming the first driller of a productive oil well in the United States. All hell broke loose. 1859. We started getting oil out of the ground and going, we don't even know what to do with this stuff yet. We don't but we got it, and we're going to figure out when we, years later, they figured out to make it in gasoline, and the story. 1908, Lyndon B. Johnson was born, the 36th president of the United States, from 63 to 69. Happy birthday to LBJ. 1928, the Kellogg-Briand Pact was signed between France and the United States in a series of peacekeeping efforts after World War I. Yeah, and that worked, huh? Lots of peace broke out. 1939, German Ernst Heinrich Haeckel, a HE-178, which is a turbo-powered aircraft, made the first jet flight. So the first jet flight was made in 1939. Don't know if it was successful landing. Probably was. 1964, the musical film Mary Poppins, an adaptation of P.L. Travers' book, had its world premiere in Los Angeles and became a Hollywood classic, especially known for a performance by Julie Andrews, who was making her screen debut. Mary Poppins. And she was later in Sound of Music, where she played another nanny-type person. 1979, Louis Mountbatten was assassinated by the IRA. That was going to be my video, but I changed it. But yeah, he was blown up on his boat along with his nephew and another small child. They were blown up on their boat. He was the first Earl Mountbatten of Burma. The Provisional Irish Republic of Mali placed a bomb on his boat, which was in Donegal Bay, Ireland. Yeah, you're off the coast of Ireland. Yeah, probably should be looking for bombs since you're at war with the IRA. But he got blown up on this day, 1979, 45 years ago today. 2008, Democratic politician Barack Obama became the first African American to be nominated for the presidency by either major party. He later defeated John McCain to win the office. Hooray for America! Right, we decided that, hey, color of your skin, as long as you can do the job, matter. But that just triggered a bunch of racists. They just decided, oh, that's going to hurt my life somehow. And they've all been just Trumpsters ever since. And Trump took advantage of it. And that's the history of the United States, the end of the democracy that we tried to start 250 years ago. The end. 2011, after causing extensive damage to several Caribbean islands, Hurricane Irene, which I remember, it hit here, made landfall in the United States, striking North Carolina Outer Banks before moving along the eastern seaboard. And that's where we are, the eastern seaboard. There's a big board out there. It's the eastern seaboard. It's a big board. We all just jump up and down on it. No, not really. This day in history, our featured event, 1576, the death of Titian. Titian, the greatest Italian Renaissance painter of the Venetian school, who was once described as the sun amidst small stars, not only among the Italians, but all of the painters in the world. He died on this day in 1576. But there we go. He was very famous in his time. It's also the birthday of Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa, Roman Catholic nun, actually doesn't even say it's her birthday. It just says she died September 5th of 1997 in Calcutta. However, it doesn't say when she was born, so I guess we're just remembering Mother Teresa. There you are, remembered her. Okay, 1890, Man Ray, American painter. Of course, Mother Teresa, quite controversial. I'm not going to get into it too much, but calling her a saint was a little bit premature, as she, ran a clinic where people just died of whatever was killing them and got no medicine. They just died, thinking God was going to save them. Okay, I guess. Whatever. Hey, Mother Teresa, letting people die. Let their faith save them, right? 1890, Man Ray, his birthday, American photographer, painter. 1906, Ed Gein, American serial killer. You can't forget our serial killers on Britannica.com.
Yeah, it's not
American,
this day in history if we're not talking about them.
Well, of course, Ed Gein, several movies made about Ed Gein, although he wasn't named. Psycho. The Psycho model was that guy who couldn't get over his mother's death. That same guy. Ed Gein only killed women who reminded him of his mother, and he would cook them and wear their skin. So, we have several psychos based on him. We have Hannibal the Cannibal, right? Hannibal Lecter and Silence of the Lambs. And we also have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So we have three movie franchise started by Ed Gein. American serial killer. There you go.
And I wish we did
Whatever, man. 1908, Don Bradman. We're actually fascinated by murderers for some reason. We're weird. Humans are weird. 1908, Don Bradman, an Australian cricketer's birthday. He's a cricketer. He was born the same day of Lyndon Baines Johnson. Claim to fame. And Tom Ford, American fashion designer, born in 1961. He's turned 64 today. And what national days is it? National Just Because Day, which to me is every day. I do things just because. I need a reason? Really? I don't think so. National Pots de Crème Day. It's look like pots with cream in them. Very descriptive. Some kind of dessert, I'm going to say. And it's National Peach Day. So only those three things.
So make sure you grab a peach today and take a good bite out of that juicy peach. Wait, are we still talking about peaches?
Yeah, it's Peach Day. National Peach Day. That's right. Moving to the country, going to eat a lot of peaches. If you know that song. Peaches, peaches, peaches. Peaches, peaches, peaches. That song by the presidents of the United States of America. And just because. So it's there's your mispronunciation, your stories, your weird stories, your bizarre stories, your scams, and your people that don't edit their stories properly. For August 27th, 2025 on Before Peaches.
Okay. Well, I've got a joke for you.
Shove it in your mouth. They're just falling out of the trees these days. Yeah,
which car part would Mother Teresa be?
The alternator.
A Catholic converter.
There you go. A catalytic converter. Got it.
Mother Teresa's assistant is incredible. Truly, second to none.
Oh, that is a good bet. Seriously. You know they're called nuns, right?
Yeah.
Let's get Homer.
It's funny because nuns.
It's funny because it's true.
Man, Homer laughs so hard.
I'm to the store.
It's also International World Lake Day. There's a lot of places out there that have a lot of lakes. Minnesota, Wisconsin. I think one of the Scandinavian countries has a lot of lakes. There's lakes everywhere, and they're very important. You know why? Because they get water to us from not a river.
Fresh water.
So, yeah, fresh water to us. Water. And unfortunately, a lot of our lakes on the planet are actually not safe fresh drinking water, so make sure you watch out for that agricultural runoff, take care of your local community, clean that trash, and make sure that those lakes that we use as a gathering ground for living stay clean and safe to drink out of on International
Glacial Lakes.
World
Glacial
Lake Day.
Lakes are the best, man. The ones right off the glacier, those are the best ones. Right?
Supposedly there are 117 million lakes on Earth, and they cover only 4% of the planet's land surface. And a lot of it is from glaciers. Yep, glaciers melting, and then the water going into the ground and coming back up, and there you got a spring. You got a spring sprouting, and then it becomes a lake.
Spring fed.
For a long time.
And as somebody, I came from the land, they call Minnesota the land of 10,000 lakes, but Wisconsin actually has more, even though in Minnesota, Lord, they admit it.
Yeah.
But Wisconsin has more lakes, and they're all formed by glaciers. And you legitimately can get out of one lake, right? Drag your boat across the road to another lake that's not even connected to the lake you just got out of. And then they're right across the road from each other. I'm dead serious. That's how many lakes are in Wisconsin. They're everywhere. If you don't believe me, go to Pickerel Lake, Wisconsin, take your boat, drag it across the street, and you're in Crane Lake, another lake that's not even probably underground connected, but there's no river between them you can see.
I definitely was spoiled with every summer, or at least most summers, going to a lake, right? Swimming in the lake.
Sometimes.
So.
Yeah, lakes are interesting. They're bodies of water you can basically drink out of.
Did you send me a video and I totally forgot? I feel like that's what happened.
I think you totally forgot me sending you a video.
Here you go.
All right.
Keep talking
we have no
about
excuses.
lakes.
It's Wednesday.
What was your
our
favorite lake to go to?
I don't know. The one I swam at, the one I grew up by.
Yeah, the one that you also fished at, huh?
It's called Leonard's Lake on the maps because it's named after my great-great-grandfather who homesteaded the land. And a lot of those lakes have no names. There's so many lakes in Wisconsin, and a lot of them don't even have names. Think about that. And there's probably so 20 many. Or 30. I think there's 100 pine lakes, over 100 pine lakes. If you were to go and, the most common names for lakes, they're just lakes everywhere.
What is this? Man. Well, there's a lot of pine trees around it. Okay, we're calling it Pine Lake 247.
Rice Lake's another one. There's 50 rice lakes. It's just ridiculous.
Rice lakes?
Yep. A lot of wild rice in Wisconsin. It's a big crop.
Oh, really? Okay, that's cool.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. The Indians still the Indians of Wisconsin still harvest it the traditional ways. They go in their canoes and they whack it against the boat and they harvest the wild rice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Pile of rice
and we mean Native Americans, right? Not people from India, because people from India also love rice. Got some basmati rice.
And the Native Americans. The Native Americans in Wisconsin actually saved the lakes and rivers because they got the Exxon mine axed because of their treaty rights.
Hell yeah.
Hooray
we love when people
for
listen to
Native
treaties.
America. Yeah, there's still fish in Wisconsin because of them.
Otherwise, it would just be a bunch of gas companies creating oceans, probably. Not even gas companies. Not even gas companies, iron ore companies. Digging up the right. There's a lot of iron up there, too.
Dumping mining waste in the rivers. So, yeah, they never got to do it. Good. Greed sucks. Greed doesn't accomplish anything.
Thanks a lot for saving
It's only for the short-term gain. Yeah,
okay, we're
ready
going to
be mining jobs. There'll be mining jobs until there isn't mining jobs anymore. And then they all leave.
You have a giant sinkhole in the middle of your town.
Pocket.
That's what's happening in Sweden.
You don't even have a town.
The story we did about Sweden last week. This has been Allison here from the Netherlands. Roger from the East Coast of the U.S. as we tie off another Wacky and Weird Wednesday. I hope you've been enlightened by the wacky and weirdness that is happening in our world every day. We will see you tomorrow for Thursday's 13, where Roger's going to drop a list here. I guess I should go this way. Roger's going to drop a list of 13 things, and we're going to argue with him about whether or not it belongs on there. Or, hey, I forgot this one. So make sure you're following or subscribed or turn on the notifications so you know when we go live, post a video. And here is our squishy and squashy mic drop moment. So much tomato!
It's got the silent movie music.
No copyright here.
Yeah, we don't need a narrator. We don't need the AI narrator going. And these people are throwing tomatoes.
Wow,
they are not bleeding
goggles,
everywhere.
In their hair.
Right. This is 7 years ago. You can actually watch this live. And I did go to the live stream, but you could not. You had to watch the live stream and what they offered you. You couldn't slide it back to an earlier time. So it was.
Oh, that's
but you can actually go to the live stream and watch it.
Like on YouTube,
you can watch it live.
Let you scroll through it,
yeah, but you can watch it. Just go do a Google search or whatever search. Go find the live stream, and it's going on right now. They're pelting each other with tomatoes.
I feel like I'm watching a vaudeville show because of this music. Oh, here we go. Somebody.
De ser correctos con la gente, pues está todo permitido.
This sinister piano music gotta play first.
Que dice, este tío cuando llegue a la Tomatina le voy a pegar un tomatazo porque me apetece.
Come to Spain and throw tomatoes.
Esa libertad total.
I'm gonna save this tomato for you, asshole.
Look how clean it.
Back. Everyone looks pretty clean. I guess they're getting sprayed off.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, you
They already
gotta
are
clean it up
cleaning.
because it's just gonna get putrid. And
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.